All right, so we have a home project. So we have a 4-foot fluorescent light fixture with two fluorescent bulbs in it in our master bedroom closet. And these lights, when they start to go bad, you'll flip the switch on and the light won't come on, or it'll flicker. And I replaced these bulbs a while back. I don't know if it was a year ago or how long ago it was, but I know it's too early for them to be going out again. So same thing happened this week. Light bulb started to flicker, wouldn't come on again. So it looks like, the ballast is probably going bad. So I was looking at replacing it with LED bulbs, and there's two main ways that I found online to do that. One is that you continue to use a ballast and then you just put the LED bulb in there. What I don't like about that is you're still dealing with a ballast and can still have a bad ballast, and I would have had to change the ballast anyway because the ballast is bad. So this other way is called a LED bulb type B, and that's the one where you cut out your ballast altogether, get rid of it. You do a little bit of wiring, and then from there on out, all you have to do is put the LED bulb in there, but you have to buy the right ones. So I was a little disappointed that this particular one at Home Depot didn't actually say type B on this box that I could find, but it is a type B in that it's what they call pre-wired, where you get rid of the ballast, and so that's what makes it type B. So you do have to make sure you're buying the right one, and so we're going to show you, but you really literally cut out the ballast so that all you have is your power wires coming in. Your black and white wire should be all that we have coming in with the hot wires. So first step is to cut the power off at the circuit breaker, which we've already done. And this box was around $22 at the Home Depot. I'll put links in the description. This was the 2-pack, which is what I needed. Has directions. It comes with these are called tombstones because of the shape of them. It's an odd name, but these plastic clips inside of your light fixture that the bulbs snap into are called tombstones. So it comes with two of these that each have a black and white wire on it. It also comes with a little bag that has two more tombstones with no wires on them and some wire nuts. So it looks like 4 wire nuts. And so basically the difference is on a fluorescent light, you have power coming in one end, but it runs through the other end, and it connects the ends where the power is kind of in a loop, I guess. But on the LEDs, the power comes in one end, and that's all. The other end is simply a holder for the bulb. So on the LEDs, your power is going to come in to this end where they've given you the wired connections, and then on the other end, you're just going to have these holder tombstones that just hold the light bulb. So this was a nice little kit, and then it came with everything I need. And so as we cut out the old ballast and as we wire up these, I'll show you what I'm doing so that you'll be able to duplicate this yourself. And so let's get started. I'll put links in the video description to everything that I use in the video, including the lights from Home Depot. I'll also include these are optional. These are Wago wire connectors that I'll probably use in the video, so I'll put these in the description. You can also use the wire nuts that come with the light bulbs. You notice I got a headlight on, I got a neck light on, because it makes sense wherever you're doing this is probably going to be dark, so you're going to need some light. I'll put links to those in the description. This is a wire cutting and stripping tool that I plan on using, and also I have this just to cut the wires off of the existing ballast. I could use the cutters on these. They have cutters here and strippers here, but I usually grab these when I have a lot of wires to just cut. So I'll put links to everything in the video description. Let's get started. All right, so I took the cover off. This is our existing one. So I took this plastic cover off that it had on it. So now I've already got the power off at the circuit breaker panel. So I'm gonna take out our 2 fluorescent bulbs. Okay, so the fluorescent bulbs are out. So now this cover, under this cover hidden is the ballast. How your cover is held in might differ, but mine appears to have these 3 clips on each side that are metal. So I'm gonna squeeze. I have to squeeze this and get it on the outside of one side. So you only have to, okay, there we go. Happened a little quicker than I thought. So this exposes there's the ballast, all the wiring. Now, this light fixture has 2 bulbs. You might also get one that has 4 bulbs, but the process is the same. So, let's see. So, looking at this, what we have, you're going to have a hole in the top right here. This is where your hot wires are coming in at from your home, wherever the wires are coming in this way. So these are the wires that we are going to reuse. So I'm going to take off these wire nuts, make sure we don't, clip the wrong wires. I'm going to start off by removing the wire nuts and saying, okay, this is our black wire, this is our white wire, this is our ground, so it's already grounded. So this is all I need to save, okay? Everything else is coming out. So even these tombstones right here, okay? So I just want to see how easy, they just have these little clips right here that these tombstones set in. And what holds them in is the bulb. So before I start tearing everything apart, I'm just going to make sure that my new tombstones are going to sit in there. And they will. They're just going to sit in there like that. Okay. So I don't need any of this. So I'm going to take away all these. I'll let them hang. I'm going to take away these. Let them hang. They just come out. Look at this. And then this ballast looks like it has one nut holding it on over here. And then I can get it out that side. So let me grab the camera real quick, just so you can see. So on this side, my ballast is just held in with this metal, but on this other side, there's a nut right here. So that's what it's a very small nut. I need to get that off and remove my ballast. And if I can get that ballast out, I actually don't need to cut any wires because I just leave them all connected like that. So we're going to find out what size of nut that is and remove that ballast and be left with just our black and white and ground coming out of our ceiling there. Okay, so I got this 9mm nut driver. Yours might be different, but it fits right over there. So I'm going to unscrew that, and it's all right. Okay, try not to drop. Okay. All right. So see, once you drop the one side, this is going to fall right out. So we did this without cutting out anything. We haven't used any. We haven't had to cut one wire. So all of our ballast is still has all the wires on it, all the tombstones on it, and now we're left with a nice clean area where we just start fresh with those 2 wires. And so now we're going to move on to wiring up our new lights. Okay, so we have all this clean. We have our power. I'm going to intentionally not look directly at the camera because I got these lights on my neck and my head, and I don't want that going right into the camera. So I'm going to try to remember not to look directly your way. So this is the new tombstone with the black and white wire. If I put it down at this end, I don't have enough wire to reach to here without putting a jumper wire in. But if I put my powered end down on this end, I do. So we're going to pop that in there like that. And we're going to pop our other one in, this other spot. Now you can use the wire connectors that came with it. I'm going to put links in the description to these Wagos. If you're not familiar with Wago, W-A-G-O, they make them for different kind of connections. I grabbed this one with 3 wires, and what you do is you lift the flap, the orange flap, to accept the wire. You put the wire in, and then you close the flap, and it holds it. So it's that simple. So what we're going to be doing is taking, and this was nice where they put these little covers on the end of the wire where it's already stripped for you. So I haven't had to cut any wires, and I'm not even going to have to strip any wires. So we're going to take the ends off the white. Oh wow, and it's not even stranded wire, it's solid. So this is great quality. So this is a solid piece of wire. So it's not like those little strands that you have to twist. So that's fantastic. Okay, so we're going to take our Wago. I got my orange pieces up like that, so that means it'll accept the wires there. So I'm going to take my white powered one. I'm going to put it in one, and I'm going to close it. It's got it. I'm going to take this white one. I'm going to put it in. Okay, it pulled it out. But so yeah, what I'm going to have to do is probably fold this back that way. So this other white one, I want. So yeah, I need it to come back that way just a little. So I'm gonna go ahead and get it in there. Okay. So I got it in there, and now that they're connected, I'm gonna fold this wire back that direction so that it gets them closer to where they need to be. All right, let's see. Let me fold it back here, coming out of the ceiling. Fold it back this way. Remember, all this is going to be covered up by that metal plate when we're done. So I'm gonna get that over there. Try to lay these wires where they're not like under any kind of tension. Okay. So I want to kind of bend these wires a little bit where they're wanting to stay there like that. And now I'll do the same thing with the black. This ground we don't have to worry about. It's already grounded up here. So I'm going to take this wire, I'm going to bend it back this way. And then before I connect this one, I'm going to go ahead and bend these black ones back. Because it's solid wire and not frayed wire, you can do that. You can kind of bend it and it'll stay there for you. Like that. So now they're all in the vicinity. So now I'm going to grab my other Wago. I'm gonna bend. Now, if you don't want to use Wagos, you can just use the wire nuts that came with it. Put them all in the wire nut and twist. So there's my power wire. Here's my second wire. Let's see. I'm gonna try to just do these in the same order as I did the other one. So I'm gonna have my second one be from this one. Doesn't matter. If I ever had to troubleshoot, I'd be able to track it down very easily. All right. So now I'm gonna check all 6 connections and make sure every wire is held. All right, no bare wires exposed. So I got those in there. So this is my power end. Nothing is gonna be transmitted through those other ones. So now I can try to put on our cover again. It's got these indentations in all 4 corners right here. So what I'm supposed to do with the one that goes on this side, I need to run it through this indentation. And the one that sits on this side, I need to run the wire through this indentation because it gives me a gap so I won't pinch it. So I was thinking I needed to bring them out the edge, but that's not a good idea because it's sharp. So I want to bring them out this top corner. So, doesn't really matter which one's which, but this one seems to go more this way and this one this way. So I want these in these gaps right here, like that. So when I go to put this edge in, I want that lined up in that gap before I kind of start to look at it from underneath and really do your best to make sure they're actually going in those little pinch points. So this one's okay where it's at. Now this one, I need to guide into there. And now this is where the fun begins. I get to squeeze and this is in there, and this is in there, and we appear to be locked in. All 6 of them, all 6 tabs have that. So that's awesome. So now we take this tombstone, kind of run our wire back up in there a bit, bend it a little bit, and get it finagled into our holder, which is not easy, but there it is. Remember, these are solid wires, so they're pretty stiff. So just kind of shoving them in there, twisting it to face the right way. There they are, held in. All right, so those are in. Now, we'll take these 2 other tombstones that came with it that don't have any wires in them, and we'll put them in these other ends. Just their purpose is to hold the other end of the bulb. All right, now we're going to get our new bulbs and put them in. So, start off with the prongs vertical, and then rotate them, and you kind of feel it kind of click. And yeah, flat side is up towards the ceiling, and then the V side of the triangle is kind of facing down. So before we put our final cover on, we're going to turn our power back on, see if it works. Okay, we flipped the power on. This one came on, this one didn't. So I remembered there's a AC input end, and I believe this is right. That's got to be on the end with the power. So So you can kind of feel it snap in. So that's one thing that you have to look at. It matters which way the bulbs go in. So our power, we connected to this end. So the bulbs have to be labeled AC input. So if you try a bulb and it doesn't work, try flipping it. So anyway, this works. And then one thing they include that I think would be a good idea to use. Okay, so these came with this sticker that lets somebody know, in case you sell the house or you're doing this for somebody else, lets people know that they have LED bulbs in them and that they are a direct wire. So it says, do not attempt to install or operate fluorescent lamps in this luminaire. Replace using only toggled LED lamps. And Toggled is the brand. Hopefully they can accept other brands, you know, as long as they're the type B or the direct wire. And so I'm going to put this sticker down on this end. It kind of reminds me of where my power comes in at. So I'm going to put that right there. And then just in case somebody happens to be looking at it from the other way, I will put one on this other angle. And that way you don't forget which ones you've changed and which ones you haven't. So now that we have that done, we're going to grab our cover. All right. So that was very easy. And we didn't need to cut one wire. We didn't need to strip one wire. So really, thinking back on it, for us, the only tools we actually needed was a light and this 9mm nut driver or socket to get the old ballast off. That's all that we used. I never had to use my strippers or cutters. So what a clean, easy job. So I hope that's been helpful. Just remember, there are 2 different types of LED bulbs. So you have to make sure you're either just replacing, you know, a fluorescent bulb with an LED that uses a ballast. I didn't want to do that. So this is the type B where we eliminated the ballast. So just remember that and be safe operating electricity. Make sure that you get your power off at the circuit breaker before doing this work. So thank you. Hope that's been helpful.